I wasn't totally done chewing when I pressed play. This is a little spicy, so ignore the sniffles and the tears. But I wanted to jump back on here since I'm still eating. Somebody asked me what are the best places to stay when traveling, and I don't think he means one place specific, just in general. In general, I would recommend hostels over hotels. Always pick hostel. I always pick hostels because you'll meet more like-minded individuals, other tourists who are just trying to talk and hang out with other foreigners. So you'll get to meet a lot of people in hostels, but mostly other foreigners. As far as locals, it's usually a local running the hostel and who's trying to get to know more foreigners. So typically you can cook your own food in a hostel. So I always like to bring a spare suitcase or a little bag or something and bring groceries with me every time I move. So I can cook for myself and it keeps expenses really low. So I do like that part about it. Usually you can wash and dry your clothes in there. And if they don't have a washer or a dryer, or if it costs money, they usually have a sink or a bathtub. So I usually wash my own clothes in a sink or a bathtub. I use a bar soap of Sote, the pink soap. That'll last you for years and years when you're taking it with you to travel. And I can I'll post some pictures of what my washer and dryer looks like when I travel. But it does help to have a little bit of space where you could wash your things, and then you don't have to pay for those services. In the hotels, you don't really get to have that much interaction with foreigners or locals. It's usually big chain hotels. Nothing's really included in it. The other thing I like about hostels is not all of them are the same. They all have a little bit of pizzazz. The one I'm staying at right now has free yoga. It has a pool table. The beach is like right in front of it. Typically they're a lot cheaper and you get a lot more for where you're at. I do share a dormitory, so it's a bunch of bunk beds with men and women sharing this dormitory. I prefer it that way. I think it's weird to have just a girl side and just a boy side, and that's not very common in other countries. Although they are making more women dormitories, I guess, female only, but not men only. So I do prefer mixed because you get to talk to all kinds of people. And another worry is like, well, what if somebody's stealing your stuff? Man, if somebody steals it, you're not meant to have it. That's first and foremost. If they take it, tough luck, you weren't meant to have it. Other than that, I don't really have another opinion about it. I have a key that goes to a locker that came with my bed that I got. I haven't used the locker. I haven't used the key. All my stuff is on my bed. I do have a laptop with me. I have my phone. Well, I have my phone with me, but I have my laptop in there. I have all my clothes in there. My everything is right there on my bed, with the exception of my phone and my wallet that are in my pockets now. And I don't have any worry that somebody's gonna take it. I think at some point people just need to let go of that. Let go of all this, somebody's gonna take from me, somebody's gonna take from me. You know, there's been plenty of times that people have taken from me, and it's not changed my opinion. I still want to live with the freedom to have my stuff out. I don't want to lock it up. If you needed it so bad, you needed to take it, you're welcome. I'll replace it. I obviously didn't need it. I've gotten this far without it. So yeah, that's about the stealing and thoughts on that when being in hostels. So I do like to stay in hostels because they're significantly cheaper. But more than that, I prefer to stay with locals. So I'm really happy to have met Aum, who I've already mentioned a couple times. She says when I go back to Phuket, I can stay with her. And that's always the goal, is to have a friend you can stay with. You can stay up all night with, you can chat, you can mix ideas. that is my goal in building a worldwide community. I don't want to have to pay to stay somewhere and then try and go find other people, or just to go find what it's like in this country. In my mind, if I want to really get to know this country, I have to live like the locals and try and talk with the locals and see what they do, what they like, and interact with them as much as I can, even though it's a little uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me to even try and speak another language because, I botch it up. And it's uncomfortable for me to even go up to somebody who probably doesn't want to talk to me. That's happened to me before too. Like, I've gone up to somebody and they've gone like that to me. Or they've gone straight up like that to me, so not to talk to me at all, which all are acceptable. You don't want to talk, we don't have to talk. And it can hurt your feelings if that kind of thing hurts your feelings. You can take it personally, or you can keep in mind that other people also feel uncomfortable trying to talk to a foreigner because they don't know the language. So, perspective is everything. What else was I gonna say? So yeah, hostels and mixed dormitories. If you can be in a mixed dormitory, instead of getting your own room, if you really travel to be alone, then I guess go get your own room. But if you travel to go see and explore and be with other people, I think that you really have to go do that. Go be with other people. And sometimes it's gonna be uncomfortable. Sometimes people snore really loud, although nobody snored last night. Sometimes they come back drunk, and sometimes somebody keeps opening and closing the door. But it's not really any different than it is in a household full of brothers and sisters. If you've ever been in that kind of environment, you can let those things annoy you, or let it go, and they won't ever bother you. I just noticed I'm missing a whole wing. I have a wing on this side and no wing on the other side. People think my sister told me this. Right before I came here, my nerves got the best of me, and I was a little nervous because I had no plan, and I was like, is it okay not to have a plan? I've always not had a plan and it's been okay, but for some reason, I wonder if it's okay. And so I called my twin, and she says, think of the worst possible scenario, the worst possible consequence. And if you're cool with that, then go for it. And that really helped me decide whether or not I can do certain things, because I do try and think of the worst possible consequence, and yeah, it does seem pretty acceptable, and I think that that's what pushes me forward. Trying the soup, it could be really freaking hot, they like spicy food, or it could just taste terrible, right? But ultimately, risk it for the biscuit and you'll like it. Or you won't order again. I think that's all I have to say for now. So, in summary, hostels, mixed dormitories, mixed dormitories, and talk to people as much as you can. Don't stay on your phone. If you put headphones in your ears, that just shows that you're unavailable to talk to. So if you're really shy, get out of your comfort zone and at least be out there and stay put. Stay put, and maybe somebody will come to you. I'd come to you. As long as there's no headphones in your ear, or if there is, then I still might come to you. But you're more approachable if people don't think that you're busy. And yeah, I think talking with people helps with travel. And, as people have already seen, it can really help you get around, because the way that I've traveled so far from island to island has been through a couple friends. And then even Alam's family member, who I met right before I got on the ferry, gave me a ride to my hostel after we got off the ferry, because apparently it was an hour away. So I think everything works out for a reason if you just kind of go with the flow. You're gonna meet people, And not to put his business out there, he's a great guy. He just got out of jail the day that I saw him. The reason he was on that island was because he just got out of jail. And he still seemed like a great guy to me. And still happy that I continued to talk with him. And he ended up giving me a ride. I got his Instagram, and I hope I get to talk to him again. And I hope he gets to show me around this island. But yeah, that's a fear that people have in America. It's like, oh, well, you're going to associate yourself with a criminal? Maybe. But why does that have to affect me? Like, so somebody got in trouble for something, and then that has to affect me somehow. I mean, I do know why he went to jail. He got in a fight with his brother. And knowing that, I'm still okay hanging out with him. So, there are people out there that have a history, that have lives outside of meeting you. I wouldn't judge them so harshly about all of it. There's things that I've done that I'm not proud of. There are things that people have gotten in trouble over that they're not proud of. I mean, I don't think we should hold it against them forever. Like, live and let die, you know? I think that's all I have to say on that. Cool, bye.